Snow fell hard, wind howled. The forest was a sea of white, each tree cloaked in snow. Thomas, a woodsman, heard a faint cry. His heart skipped a beat. He stepped outside, bracing against the cold. A small basket lay by his door. Inside, a baby girl cried softly, her tiny face red from the cold. Thomas felt something melt. He brought the child inside. The warmth of the fire contrasted with the icy storm outside. He had never held a baby. His hands trembled as he cradled her. He warmed milk over the fire, feeding her slowly. A feeling bloomed in Thomas's chest, a mix of joy, fear, and hope. In the midst of the blizzard, he found a new purpose. He named her Lily. From the moment he held her, he knew his life had changed. The forest, once a place of solitude, now echoed with her laughter. Thomas embraced every challenge and joy with a heart full of love. The small cabin, filled with the smell of pine and wood smoke, became her world. It was simple but rich with warmth and love. Each corner held a piece of their journey. Thomas worked tirelessly to provide for Lily. From chopping wood to growing vegetables, every task was done with her in mind. He learned to change cloth diapers, finding joy in the mundane. Each small act of care built a foundation for her future. He hummed forgotten lullabies as he rocked her to sleep. Under the canopy of trees, he sang of dreams and adventures. He fashioned toys from wood scraps and told stories under the starry sky. Together, they explored the world through imagination and play. The forest became a playground. Every tree, rock, and stream was a new adventure. They spent hours exploring and learning. He taught Lily the names of every tree and bird. They watched birds build nests and marveled at the changing seasons. He showed her how to track rabbits in the snow and find wildflowers in spring. These moments were treasures they both cherished. Lily, with her bright eyes and laughter, filled his world with light. She was his sunshine, his reason for everything. He was no longer alone. He was a father. In the heart of the forest, he found his true calling. Together, they created a life filled with love and adventure. Years flew by like birds migrating south. Seasons changed and the forest whispered new secrets. The leaves rustled with stories of old, and the wind carried laughter of those who walked these paths before. Lily grew tall and strong, finding joy in simple things like sunlight filtering through the canopy. Her laughter echoed as she helped Thomas gather firewood, their bond symbolized by each log. She learned to read by the fire, absorbing tales of far-off lands and brave heroes. She knew the stories by heart, but her laughter was always ready when he pretended to forget the ending. He taught her everything about the woods, each lesson a gift of wisdom. He showed her how to respect its secrets, their sanctuary from the outside world. More importantly, he taught her about kindness, love, and compassion. She learned that true power came from the heart, from connections with loved ones. Lily taught him to laugh again, finding joy in the simplest things. Happiness was found in the smallest moments, like rustling leaves or a distant bird's song. Together, they discovered the greatest adventures were in shared moments of laughter and love in the heart of the forest. Time, like a river, never stopped flowing. Thomas, once strong and sturdy, began to slow. His hair turned white as snow, his movements stiff and slow. The winters seemed colder, the firewood heavier. Lily, now a woman, saw the change. She saw the man who had been her rock, her protector, starting to crumble. Worry clouded her brow. She noticed the tremor in his hand as he lifted his mug. She heard the cough that lingered long after the fire died down. The roles were reversing, the river flowing uphill. She knew what she had to do. She had learned it from the best. Lily, who had left the woods to find her own way, returned. She came back to the small cabin, to the man who had been her world. She came back to repay a debt that could never truly be repaid, a debt of love, of kindness, of a life given and a life saved. She took over the chores that had become too much, chopping firewood, carrying water, tending to the fire. She cooked his favorite meals, the ones he could no longer manage. She read to him by the firelight, her voice soothing his tired mind. She became his protector, his rock. Thomas, his once sharp mind clouded with age, looked at Lily with a love that transcended words. He saw in her eyes the echo of his own heart, the kindness he had planted taking root and blossoming. He realized that the greatest gift he had given her was not just life, but the capacity to love so fiercely, so selflessly. He often thought back to that blizzard, to the tiny cry in the night. Fate, it seemed, had a plan. He had been given a chance to experience a love he never thought possible, and in turn he had passed that love on, creating a circle of kindness that time could not diminish. The years continued their steady march, but the love in the small cabin remained a constant. Thomas, surrounded by Lily's care, lived out his days in the warmth of her love. He died peacefully one night, the fire crackling softly in the hearth, Lily's hand clasped in his. Lily, heartbroken but at peace, knew that his spirit lived on in her. She carried his lessons of kindness, compassion and love with her, a legacy etched on her heart. The cycle continues, she thought, a small smile gracing her lips. The echo of good deeds rippling outward, touching lives in ways we may never fully comprehend.